But speaking of people with financial concerns, Donald J. Trump. So,
Man, you are the king of segue there, Duncan. Good job.
no, thank you. So Donald Trump, and we'll cover this next week. I can't cover today. The $450 million he owes to the state of New York. Basically, that's coming to deadlines. They might start seizing his properties and stuff. But we'll get to that in a bit. But right now, he's kind of sucking it up. Biden has more money in his coffers. He's raising more money. A lot of Trump's money that he's getting from his donors he's basically taking that to pay his attorney fees for all his criminal shit. We figured it was about $10 million a month he's paying in attorney costs. It's ridiculous. So he finally got this thing. So after he got shot at, right, and the bullet kind of clipped his ear and whatnot, and all that, Elon Musk put out a big tweet about how he's going to now give Trump all this money. $45 million a year kind of thing, right? And here's Trump
One lunatic funding another one, man.
Exactly. So here's Trump talking about it. Let's see if we get sound.
Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month.
At no point did I say that I was donating $45 million a month to Trump.
So we'll get into that in a second. But so here's what happened. Elon Musk
I'm so confused. Okay, I know you're going to explain this, but let me have my reaction here.
Go ahead.
They're both batshit crazy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So I'm having this moment where I actually don't know which one of them to believe. And that's new for me because usually, either one of them say anything and I go, I don't know. I'm kind of automatically a little skeptical. Mm-hmm. And now I don't know who to believe.
So, don't believe either of them. They're both liars. They're both full of shit. So, what happened was this. Elon has been giving Trump money. He's donated money in the past here, in the recent past, right? But he can't tell anybody that because Trump is, as we know, against electric vehicles. He does the whole bit about drowning with a shark in an electric boat thing, right? Over and over and over again. And the Republicans want to rescind all these electric vehicle contracts from the government. So Biden wants to make the entire, all of our government vehicle fleets electric vehicles in 10 or 15 years, whatever it is. Right? But these are huge contracts from the government. And Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, who's one of the bigger manufacturers of electric cars. Until GM finally catches up, which their CEO is an idiot. But that's the deal. You can't sit there and tell your shareholders as the CEO of an electric car company that I'm giving money to the candidate who wants to rescind all of our contracts that we have from the government, which is where we get all our money. Are you listening, shareholders? But he thinks he can buy Trump, and then Trump will do whatever he wants when he's president. So that's what he's doing. He's basically trying to bribe him. But what happens is Trump gets shot at. Everybody thinks Trump's going to have a huge bump at the poll. He gets shot at, and then the RNC and da-da-da. So Elon thinks, perfect time. I'm now going to endorse Trump and give him all this money. And that's what he says. Basically, I'm going to buy the next president. Right? Trump doesn't get a bump in the polls. The RNC doesn't give him a bump in the polls. The shooting doesn't give him a bump in the polls. In fact, the polls stay pretty flat. And then what happens? Biden drops out and Kamala starts to take over. Kamala raises a record amount of money in the first day after Biden drops out, within 24 hours of Biden announcing. And Kamala is now in the polls, looks like she's beaten Trump. Right? Or she's at least tied with him in most of the polls. For just being announced to be instantly tied means she's probably going to kick his ass. So now Elon's walking all that shit back. No, I'm not giving him any money. I didn't say that. Here it is.
Do you still donate $45 million? I'm sorry?
At no point did I say that I was donating $45 million a month to Trump. That was a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal.
Mr. Musk,
So I said it was a fiction.
That was a fiction made up by who? Who's he say it's made up by?
The Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal actually is conservative paper, very conservative since it got bought by, was it Sheldon Adelson? So they're a right wing Trump paper now. They used to be back in the '90s a pretty respected paper, but not anymore. But one of their reporters got it from somebody who worked for Musk. Actually said that, and Musk was supporting him on tweets and all this stuff. So he offered him all this money, and then now that it looks like he's not going to win, well, it's like, well, why am I giving him all this money if he's not going to be president? I'm not going to get anything out of it. But just to show you how much your vote counts versus Elon Musk's, that he can throw money back and forth like that. I mean, but it's just funny to me because now Trump is like, well, now he's all upset about it, and Trump's like, well, I don't know him, and he's a punk, and
It's like the middle school playground fight or something,
Well, what kills me about it is it's a bunch of fucking rich guys who act like royalty, and they pretty much are. I mean, they inherited all their shit. And we got to deal with this. And as part of it, they're thinking, like, didn't we fight a revolution so we wouldn't have to deal with these ne'er-do-well dipshits? I mean, didn't we, like, kill a bunch of British people for this? And now we've got our own. And I'm kind of like, Jesus. I thought we fought a war to not have a king, but apparently no. People want to go back to that. Oh man.